Now, here's the question, right? Did the first European explorers see Samoans like black? Were they originally black? Is this whole idea that African Americans or Fijians out there who make this claim like, oh, the first Polynesians or the first Samoans were black? Well, I'm going to answer that question. Um, and anyone that's really interested, there's this book called First Contacts in Polynesia, the Case of Samoa for 1722 to 1884. So when I say that, all I'm going to say, right, I'm going to just start off by showing you this beautiful photo of our ancestors, our Samoan ancestors during this time. So then you have a good idea what the early Europeans would have first saw the woman that they first saw within Samoa, and this is how they would have looked like. And for me, that shows for myself how beautiful and attractive the women were back in those days. Okay, because they didn't have all this processed food, so they were in very good shape. But in saying that, I'm just going to show you some highlights of how Europeans first saw us. A young woman. Okay, this is by Benin, a narrative from Benin. A young woman was sitting. Her body was all white. Do you hear that? White. We know that at that time, as well as throughout the following centuries, Europeans traveling keenly noted that the first instance, the color of the locals, skin, their size, okay, and finally physical aspects, physically, that included on beauty and the character and temperament of the nation. 50 years later, so 50 years later, the French, as well as English on other islands, Cook Island, would note these various colors of skin and make hypotheses about it. So there you go. They did not see Samoans black or negroid, or else they would have said it. In fact, in his notes, and particularly their color of the girl's skin is valid, it would be a further proof that this girl was of a Tui Sala, as though as those high-ranking official virgins were kept very secluded inside their houses. Later, as noted, the Pan-Polynesian practice, as it was applied to high-ranking females, the thinking behind it was for the girls to avoid sunburn and to remain as white as possible. Oh, do you hear that? So, if any black people or Fijians or anyone try and tell us that the original Samoans were black, just show them this. This is how I keep trying to tell African Americans out there and black people that light skin was very much part of Samoan culture. They did not like black skinned people. The practice had both the social reference, the light of the skin was valued over darkness as a sign of life. Socially, avoidance of the sun was a sign of superior rank. I keep trying to tell black people this. The sun rays blind other people, obliging them to keep their eyes down and how their heads. Dark skin denotes someone who is working outside and thus he is exposed to the sunlight. So, right here, I keep trying to tell African Americans and black people out there that there would be no sense of Samoans wanting to intermix with Melanesians. And I keep trying to show in the other book the reason why Samoans were like this was because they did not look at Melanesians or look at people with very dark black skin beautiful, or it was not a sign of of beauty. So, to answer your question, if the early Europeans did think Samoans were Negroid or Melanesians, or even ugly, they would have called us Melanesia. So, this here debunks the idea that the first Polynesians were black. The first Samoans were black. And I'll finish it off with this beautiful picture of another Samoan woman back in this period of time. So I will just keep trying to build up little things within this book that I find interesting in the next episode.